What's up, everyone? Nailed it. Nailed that intro. I am so pumped.
Yeah, kinda.
Nailed it. Welcome to Toy Talk. It is Monday. We are excited to be with you all right now. I'm just really on a high right now because I nailed that intro. I wasn't distracted and we didn't have any distractions or anything like that. But it's Monday. It's November 28th. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Toy Father, aka Chris. With me, as always, we'll introduce the crew. We got No Chewing.
No chewing. What's up, all?
How you doing?
I'm good. Good. Happy
You
Monday.
have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Tired from it. Gotta stop eating all the leftovers. Besides that, all good.
That's good. How big of a
16th
turkey? Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, 5. Wait. 5 days I've been eating leftover turkey.
Oh, I think we got 3. So I think we got just a big enough turkey. But
we order from a farm that every other year they give you an option of what size to buy. This time they didn't. So it was between a 16 and an 18-pound turkey, and mine, I swear, was like a 20-pound turkey.
I feel like
huge.
I think a 15-pound is probably perfect.
I think next year I want tiny. I want like a 12-pound turkey. There's no
No.
need for.
I feel like 12-pound turkey. It's too easy to dry out. Like you got like 15, 7. We got a 17-pound. It was like perfect. But hey, I saw you. I went to your house.
Yep.
I met your family. We had a nice
right here.
I was right there. We had a nice play date. We painted some heads. Some heads right here.
Got me.
It turned out all right.
Yeah, we're customizers now.
Yeah.
We can do this. We're gonna be at Legion Con. We're gonna have a table.
I don't know. What do you, Danny, Josh? What do you guys think?
I think you guys did a great job.
Thanks,
Danny.
Danny.
Very nice.
Looks good.
I think it's really good especially on our first try.
I know.
One is lighter than the other, right? Different greens, or I don't know.
No, same greens. I think No Chewing did a brush on the
okay.
The beard.
I think Samurai Chris and Rabbit's Den told me to do a dry brush for some highlights on the beards, and I think I hit a little bit on the face by accident.
Oh, okay.
So.
Sorry. All right, let's get back to intros. We got Toy Addict 17. We got Danny. How you doing, bud?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
Good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes.
We had stopped at my mom's house. My oven is jacked up, so there was no turkey making here. So mom always saves the day. You know, she's an amazing cook. So we had.
Did they have a 50-pound turkey for your family?
No. No. They had a small turkey. My kids don't eat a lot.
But,
they had a small turkey, and then the traditional Latino family stuff.
What's that?
Great.
I want to know.
She always makes for Thanksgiving. She always makes this crab meat salad. Like,
gosh!
And she usually serves it. She usually serves it before we have dinner. She usually serves it as an appetizer with wine, or you could eat it with white wine. Sounds or great. Beer or whatever. But it's great. So I had that, and then after that we had dinner. We had a pork shoulder and all that. This good stuff.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I like your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good.
Josh Cox Create, the king, the BK king. Looking very stoic. How was your Thanksgiving, buddy?
Worship me. It's good. Good. We went out of town. Ate some turkey, some ham, pumpkin pie.
There you go.
I love pumpkin pie.
So,
that's good. You
Me too. I bought an extra one on sale.
So. On the way home?
No, after I got home, I went to the grocery store and got another one.
You gotta have that for all the leftovers. And as you guys know, we got a bump and chat today. We got Jay Shot in here.
Jay's
How
hot.
you doing, buddy? We got Craven the Collector. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Machu Toys, good to see you. Touring around, one of our guests from last week. We had a great time. How you doing? We got Thor in here. Smash that
What's up,
like.
man?
Thanks, buddy. D. Blake Makes. All of our new friends are coming on. Collectible Fun. How you doing, buddy?
Before we jump on to the next person, D. Blake Make is going to be on Collector's Corner on Thursday on Instagram. So
For
check
Grown
that
Ass
out.
Men. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Grown Ass Men is awesome. That's a big freaking turkey. And that's about it for right now. For all you people that are joining us, thanks again. And as you know, we only ask for one thing if you're tuning in. All you have to do is just click that, or two things. Click that like button and click that subscribe button. That's all we're asking. We're not asking you to give us money. Does it make us feel better when we get more followers? Absolutely. Is that a superficial like for us? Yes, it is. But just do it. That's all we ask. We love
I'm
it.
vain. I'll admit it. It's fine.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Please.
Midnight Stars, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right. Well, we have a great show for you today. As you can see
My
from our
mic is
tags.
delayed.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a new mic?
Watch. Who?
No, it's not bad. No. Your stream is delayed. Because I feel like there's a delay from what we say and then how you respond.
I think it's just him.
I thought you were just pausing for effect. I thought that was a
him.
regal pause.
He
thought you were-
paused on purpose. He did that
I was
purposely.
born delayed.
And that's our new hashtag.
So you can look at all of our handles on our respective channel or our respective cubes. Follow us on IG. All of us do some photography on the side. We love it. We do have some plugs. There was one plug I wanted to get more information on, but maybe Danny, maybe you know more about it. Unworthy's plug for the contest that he's doing. And whatever. Unless you want to keep that a surprise.
Yeah, that's I'm not going to discuss that. But
Okay.
I know he's doing Unworthy's doing a giveaway. Totally forgot about the read up. I know it's a Star Wars shot or something like that.
It's a Sith or
Yeah.
a baddie type shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think just go on to Unworthy Collector's IG. It's all there. It's fairly simple.
Yeah.
It's just take a picture before, I want to say December
I got it.
12th.
Use the hashtag UnworthyAF on your action figure photography so he can promote your work and talk about it on the show. Tag at _UC_collabs so we don't miss anything. Click on the link in the bio for Unworthy for other like Patreon things. He has he has TV show, Toy Talk, podcast, all of that. And click the link for UC_masterclass. He has a great blog, Masterclass, which is great. Some of us have been on it. And that's really much it. Unworthy is a great person in the community. He really does help everyone else and support everyone else. So one of the things that we can do is just support him. So do that up. It has to be a, what did we say? A Sith.
Yeah, Sith shot.
A Sith shot.
Yeah.
And I really did like the video that he posted. And I'm so glad that he asked me to be a part of it. And I did say, like, he told me to say one other thing. I say he's like full of it. Instead, I said he's full of and then I cut myself out. And then he ended up using that as his tag, which I was really honored, and I thought it was really funny. So
it was really funny.
Another plug. What we got? No chewing.
We are in the holiday season, so what we've talked about last show and the show before that on Instagram as well, we're talking about holiday hauls. Simple call to action to go out to your toy store of any choice. You can go online, pick out some toys for kids, donate to a worthy cause. Simple as that. Our group, and as well as some friends of the show, we challenged ourselves to pick out the best haul for $50 for a little friendly competition amongst ourselves.
While we're on that, I'm going to add Josh back in the stream. Josh, you doing all right, man? And
You think so?
I think so.
so yeah, 10 seconds later. So we along the lines of the giving, $50. The $50 tag piece was like really great because here's the thing, I didn't wait till all the deals like Monday and Black Friday, but I did do it before. And what was really nice for me was trying to get as much bang for my buck, right?
Mhm.
And I wasn't looking at like action figures. I was looking at toys. These were toys for children that I know could use them more than I could. So I actually have my haul right here, and I kind of want to show all you guys pretty much what I got. And again, these aren't action figures, but they're toys for kids.
Mhm.
And thinking about the age range that I had, some of it kind of broke my heart thinking about like these might be kids that might not be eating these toys, and that if I could just give them something like that, if it was for a 2-year-old versus a 7-year-old, then I felt great. So I made a good age range. First one I got was Grogu plushie.
Nice.
He was
Solid.
solid, right? The next I got, these things are in a Pop It,
Oh,
fidget
yeah.
toy.
Mhm.
I got a Play-Doh cook set. So
We have the
to keep
same
it-
one.
Nice.
Did you get that? Yeah, same one.
Yep. It was on sale.
It was on sale. I got this animators collection. It was Jasmine. I should probably go to single. Hold on.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's cool.
My kids play with a similar one.
Right? This is a cool one. All right. I got 2 of these. It was like buy one, get one free. 2 of these puzzles.
Those are cool.
Nice.
Right?
Classic.
Yeah,
Baby
totally.
shark.
Yeah. And then this is the last one, a remote control Batman car.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go.
That's quality.
All under $50. So I'm really excited to. What I'm going to do is we're going to bring this over to the donation tray with my donation bin with my kids. Show them what it's like to give back,
Mhm.
and I'm super excited for it. So next week we're gonna be showing our hauls and hopefully get into that.
Good job, Chris.
No, good job to everyone else who does it too. Not thinking about ourselves. All right. So our guest has waited long enough. So let me introduce him. So many of you know our next guest is the head of Spero Toys. He and his team started a Kickstarter that introduced some amazing characters and figure designs. These are incredible. When I started to look through them, I backed this Kickstarter right away. It had to have been a year and a half ago or something like that. And of course, what we're talking about are Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Now, these features, as the write-up says, these characters featuring the many adventures of Pale, the white fur ape, and his allies as they fight to end the reign of the tyrant Kali. And if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. To restore peace and prosperity to his home. So we're really excited to have Jason from Spero Toys with us right now.
How's it going?
Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Jason, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
We're super pumped. We're trying a different type of format for questioning, so hopefully you won't get lost in the mix. It's gonna be really exciting. But first of all, I know you're really busy. You've been plugging away. You've been going to Legion Con. You've been doing all this stuff. What we like to do with our guests to make them feel comfortable is we like to start with a discussion question. And I kind of shared that discussion question with you right before the
Don't tell
stream.
people how the sausage is made.
Hey, it's okay. I'm breaking a fourth wall. People will like people feel included when I tell them these things. So here's our discussion question, everyone. What did you purchase on Black Friday and or Cyber Monday for either yourselves or others? Why don't we start with Jason?
Okay. I did all my Christmas shopping for friends and family early because, like you said, I'm really busy and I'm paranoid that I'm gonna something's gonna slide under my radar. So I got everyone's stuff early. But for Black Friday, I got myself
Oh, so
a
you bought
start.
everything before Black Friday?
Yeah, I basically I think I bought everything beginning of November. I got everything so whenever I got back from Legion's kind of had the flu, so I was just stuck in bed. So I just ordered everything off of Amazon. I was it's kind of
Oh,
asking my little
nice.
girl hey, what do you think about this and that? Not making it too obvious, but she was pretty easy to shop for. But yeah, so I kind of bought everything while I was recovering in bed, and then for Black Friday, I got myself uh, JoJo Classified, Sergeant Slaughter. I got the Multiverse Jitsu, and I had kind of forgotten about the Moon Knight series. I think I stopped watching it I don't know, maybe 4 episodes in, I stopped watching it. But I think the character designs look so cool that I wound up getting just the standard Moon Knight with the cloak and the cape.
That's awesome. That was a treat yourself moment.
Yeah, man, you gotta treat yourself.
Were those all on sale?
No. So so on Saturday I saw someone posting that the Cobra twins were $14 or maybe $16 each, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I went on and they were regular price again, but I tend to not necessarily really look at that much. I don't really bargain hunt that much. I find I only buy what I love. So, or 98% of the time buy what I really love. So it's not something where I'm kind of haggling with myself or trying to justify, oh, do I really want this? I usually know because I have a really large collection that I'm like, okay, do I need that or do I need that? I saw one more thing and then I'll shut up, I promise.
No.
There's
Keep going.
the Alpha Predator that is he's all white
Yes,
and
I
he's got
love
that
that.
awesome armor.
It's my favorite figure.
He
Favorite
looks
Predator figure.
outstanding. I had been hunting for him for quite a while, and I found him twice at Target. The second time I got it, I bought it and everything, and I was like, I don't really need this, so I returned it literally the next day, and I was like, I had it, but I don't have room for it, and I didn't need it. Uh, so yeah, I usually just kind of buy what I really, really have to have. The Moon Knight was just kind of an impulse buy, so we'll see how much I enjoy it when it comes in.
Well, I love what you're saying because it's what we all want to do in terms of impulse control.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that you have more than any of us, at least me. I'll speak for myself. You have more than me because I feel like sometimes I'll get caught in the hype and be like, all right, I'm just going to buy it. And then I'm like, why do I have this?
I get serious buyer's regret, or well, I used to in the past. I think whenever the Revenge of the Sith came out, and they had just that giant assortment of figures, and it was I realized 3/4 of the way into completing that collection, I was like, do I really need the fire extinguisher guy that puts out the spaceship? You know what I mean? So I started to
Oh
trying to
yes,
rein myself in and have a little bit more self-control. And the fact that my shelves are kind of overflowing now also helps me in my decision making.
Yeah, that does help. The space always is you always have to think about the space. No chewing. What about you? What did you get on your Black Friday and your Cyber Mondays?
I picked up 3 things, but before I jump into that,
Before you jump into that, can I just say something? You're the worst enabler in that you always hey, this is on sale, hit tag, and you make it way too easy for
I'm
someone
just about
just
to do it to Jason right now.
now.
Jason, on Amazon right now, they got a bunch of Joes, including one of the twins, for $17. They
See,
got the double ninja pack for 31. The blue ninjas.
Wait, what does he usually go
And
for?
the snake eyes with the Euro scarf in timber.
Oh
for
my
31,
God.
right?
Dan, who sculpted our female figures, he did the scarf on there, on that
Oh,
snake
really?
eye. And I was like, don't make me spend $40 for this scarf, you know?
I mean, I got it. My son has it right now.
You,
He
you
likes the
can get
scarf.
by.
I think it's going to lead to something with them.
That's a really cool snake eyes, though. I like the deco on it. And I think the timber wolf is like a maybe like all white, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
It's a good
I
set if
didn't
you
realize
pass
it had
on
two
the
heads.
commander. Oh, you got it? Let's see.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, if
Oh
you
man.
buy
Okay,
Stalker,
so
you can just keep the scarf.
yeah. So Stalker, he was the last figure that I like absolutely had to have from my classified figures. And then they freaking showed Shipwreck, and I was like, oh, okay. Then after I get Shipwreck, then I have to have it. But I keep saying that, but depending on what they show off, like we'll see what happens. I don't know.
So did you get Stalker? Because that one's also $17 on
Yeah,
Amazon
no, like
Cyber
I had,
Monday.
so like I had pre-ordered it on Amazon or maybe Big Bad or something like that, and it showed up, and I was like, okay, listen, you don't need any more classifieds because like I have two, I guess they're like a foot by 12 by 12 cubicle squares that have like Cobra on one side and the Joes on the other side, and they're both kind of starting to like just pile on top of each other where you can't like see everyone in the back, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I got one of those for Joe's. I mainly have villains, though. I need to pad out the Joe's team,
Yeah.
other than buying Snake Eyes. But I picked up three things. Yeah, they have a ton of villains. They don't put on enough Joes. So I picked up three things this weekend. The first one was off of Dorklair actually showed it to us. It's the $27 sale for 3 Zeros Optimus Prime. That's the diecast one. So I picked that one up happily, and mine wasn't canceled. It actually said it shipped. So
That's
I'm
great
really
because
excited.
I paid $80 for that one. So
It's a hell of a deal. Like
Yeah.
it was free shipping,
Well,
and I
Comic
think
Crew is awesome.
it was like
Yeah.
a 10% coupon code as well. It was crazy. And then I picked up two today off of Entertainment Earth. It was the Super 7 Sorcerer Disney Mickey Mouse, and that was for $19. And
Oh
then
wow, that's a good deal.
yeah, the next one is like the even better deal. It's the Extreme Set Build-In 7.0 for $30 on
What is
Entertainment
that?
Earth.
that's a great deal.
It's a Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those
It's
cardboard
a-
dios.
It's
Oh,
extreme
okay.
sets.
Okay,
Extreme sets, which are pretty expensive.
that's cool.
So both of those are coming. I think again it was like 10% off and then free shipping. It was crazy.
That's amazing.
Ultimately, it was only three things, but really good deals on those three.
That is great. Josh, how about you? I know you went toy hunting.
Oh God! I bought Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, Valaverse on Action Force was having a sale where if you get like $100 worth, well you get 20, and then if you buy $100 they send you a free gift. So I did
that's
that.
Well, what did you get?
What else?
What was the free gift?
I don't know. It's a surprise.
I need to get
Thank
that.
you, Leonard.
I want to get the Tim Kennedy Action Force figure.
That sounds. What is that?
Yeah,
one?
I got him.
He's just like a
Duster, I
famous,
think it is.
famous UFC fighter, military guy. But he's
Wait,
one
who?
of the.
What's his name?
Say again. I'm sorry.
What's his name?
Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy. I haven't heard. I follow UFC. I've never heard of him.
He retired a couple of years ago.
Tim Kennedy.
He was He was on JRE like maybe like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Like he did a rescue operation in Afghanistan, and like him talking about it just sounds like a movie. Like it kept getting like wilder and wilder. Like it was just like it started off where it was just like hey, go rescue this one person, and they stayed there for 2 weeks, and I think they evacuated like 20,000 people. But I was just like, I was like, is it gonna get crazier? Because it sounds like this wild movie, you know. But he's a cool guy.
Oh wow. Anything else, Josh?
I mean, I found this, but that was before Black Friday. But also got Mezco Predator coming, Constantine from Mezco. Too much,
Yeah.
as usual.
Yeah. I felt like Mezco heard your complaints about not shipping, and then they shipped all of your pre-orders that you had gotten.
Mezco.
And they're gonna hit us hard because the Crow is shipping out too. So we'll see.
You know what? If
That's
their
cool.
stuff is coming in through the Los Angeles factory, through the Los Angeles port, it's going to equal like a long waiting time because their backlog is just it's to the point where if I was working the docks, I'd be like, I'm going to change careers because this is like so overwhelming that I don't know how we're ever going to get through all of it. And just the fact that they're like moving stuff out is impressive.
Huh? That's interesting because they are. Some of their stuff does ship out of New York City, but a lot of it ships out of Washington State.
Okay, Washington State. Yeah, I mean at this point, like, we're gonna get our stuff through the port of New Orleans, but I mean it's almost like it's worth the like extra 7 days to just go through the canal and, like I said, hit New Orleans or New York or another port along the East Coast, rather than like just trying to wait it out on the in the Los Angeles ports.
Huh. That's it. Oh man, that's super interesting. Toy Addict, what about you in terms of toy purchases?
Jason, I have my Animal Warriors pre-ordered.
Oh, dude, he awesome! Thank you so much. Was that you just now? I saw an order pop up.
Well, I'm just wondering. There's no delay on them.
Oh, well, okay. So, are you talking about the Kickstarter order that we did?
Well, I think Josh froze just now.
Yeah. I'm just making sure there's no delay because I'm waiting patiently.
Oh well, I mean, we missed our delivery date, but in retrospect, I'm actually glad you asked that. So, whenever we launched the Kickstarter, we gave a delivery date for the 6 figures, and I didn't anticipate us hitting every single stretch goal. So that basically equaled like every stretch goal we're hitting, that's adding more and more and more production time. And so right now we finally, well, I say now, but like within the last 2 weeks, we finally got in the part that it creates a sonic weld, which all of your modern action figures has this little seam right here that you can't see, but it basically shakes the two parts of the torso together, and instead of gluing it, it actually like melts the plastic together. And we couldn't actually do that until the bodies were like the body molds were actually at the factory. They could have so let's see. So this is still a prototype, obviously. Like you can see that's like just like a not correct color. But anyway, so on the final version, you can kind of hear that there's a ratchet in here. The real version's gonna have, or the final version's gonna have a much more clicky type of torso, and he's got that right there. But yeah, so we couldn't actually create that custom part until the torsos were in. They could have tried to do it with like a 3D print, but it's kind of a crapshoot to just do that with a 3D print because you're never really sure what if it's gonna match exactly what a tooling mold plastic looks like, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, we got that in. I put out an update last night, kind of showing off some of these, as well as an update earlier, just showing basically bins of all these parts that they were waiting to put together. So now that they have all the parts and we got the part to do the sonic weld, they are elbow deep in production. So I got a bunch of figures to show off. Let's see here.
Jason, that figure you just had in hand is the figure I ordered. I'm the most excited for that one. I love the color scheme.
I ordered that one too.
As did I.
So what's funny is this is just like a negative version. This is Blight. This is just a negative version of our main character, Pale, which is like he's our He-Man, you know.
I
And
have
we
Pale.
kind of jokingly where, you know, the legend of the original Snake Eyes was, you know, they just kind of ran out of budget, so they did like just a pure black figure, and it wound up being popular. And that was almost like an inside joke with this figure, and it wound up being very, very popular. It's one of our bigger SKUs, and we wound up working him into the comic book. He makes his debut in issue 3, and then he's got a bunch of he factors in pretty heavily with 4 and 5. So it'll be fun for readers and fans to kind of check out how he plays into the universe. This figure, I don't know if you can tell, but the white part of his eye is actually white. We already talked to the factory, that's going to be black, and then his pupils will be the kind of bright reddish pink that it is.
Oh, nice. So, are you guys going to continue to do the comics along with the figures?
Yeah. So right now, during the Kickstarter, we talked about doing 4 issues. A standard trade paperback is 5 issues. So we're going to do our 5-issue story arc. And then once that's done, we have 2 other story arcs lined up and kind of outlined. So we intend to kind of do a continuation of at least 15 issues total, and we want to world build with those comic books and kind of let people know about all the different characters and stuff. They look cool, but they're also like, you know, there's a story behind each one of these characters besides the army builders, obviously.
I got that one.
What's that? This one's
I got
this
that
one was one of the latest
and the last one.
So
awesome
Jason,
looking.
we're kind of I want to make sure we start from the beginning too.
Sure.
Toyota, we'll get to your. Can we?
No, go right
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
With the origin story. I want to hear the origin story.
No, all good. Let's start with. We like to start with the origin story. Why don't you talk about your origin story of toys, how you got into it, and then get into how Spero Toys kind of got created.
Well, I'm a child of the '80s, and I remember going to swimming lessons, which basically like consisted of me like just frantically treading water while my parents visited with the swimming instructors. And like after I got out of the water, my parents were talking with them at that classic '80s, you know, round wooden table, and there was this little white man on the thing, and I picked it up and I was like, what the hell is this? And my dad was like, it's a stormtrooper. So Star Wars came out like 3 years before I was born, and I was like, I need this, whatever this is. And that was the start of my love affair with action figures. But as far as like Animal Warriors of the Kingdom goes, in 2011, I was doing graphic design, and at the end of each week, I would kind of just clean out my little cubicle area because I had a whole bunch of sketches and doodles and stuff for ideas. And one week we were working on a like a zoo, like a drive-through. It was weird, like it was almost like a nature preserve. But anyway, I had a ton of animal drawings and stuff, and I had this lemur that I thought was really cool. And I was like, well, it'd be kind of fun to make a lemur cartoon or like a comic book or something. And then I wound up changing it into an ape because I thought it might be like a little bit more easier for me to draw. And I went ahead and started just doodling away at this comic book, never really thinking like, oh, hey, I'm going to finish this comic book. I just wanted something to work on, you know, just to kind of scratch that creative itch. And I wound up finishing that issue. I did a Kickstarter for that issue, and it got funded. And so I wound up doing 6 issues and kind of telling the story about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and Pale and Kali, Kali's our Skeletor type figure, our Cobra Commander figure. And I think maybe like after a year and a half or something, I decided I wanted to do toys. And I kind of started dipping my toes into trying to research what all went into that. And at the time, it was just, you know, like unfathomable amounts of money that I couldn't justify, like even asking for a Kickstarter on. So I thought maybe I could do like a proof of concept, which led to doing like 2 statues, one of Pale and one of Kali. And then after that, really kind of got the itch for it. And I thought, well, okay, what's popular right now? And I did a 3 and 3 inch or 3 and 3/4 action figure for the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. We got that funded, and then I moved on to the deluxe figures for that scale, which happened to be, like it's the same scale, just a little bit bigger. And then this thing happened called COVID, and I remember kind of sitting in my car, and Toy Fair called me, and I was excited because I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna get my booth number and everything. And they're like, hey, listen, we're canceling Toy Fair because like all the buyers are like pulling out. And I remember getting off the phone, and I was like, it's understandable, it sucks, but I get it, And I thought, man, I feel like 6-inch figures are getting kind of popular right now. So I happen to have a friend that worked at Hasbro, and I thought, and we had been visiting throughout the lockdown at that time. And I was like, hey, I want to do the 6-inch scale. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And I had been talking to, that was Arlen, by the way. And then I had been talking to Utoma, who is our comic book artist and also does the line art for the characters, the turnarounds and stuff. Yeah. And so we all kind of got together and slowly started piecing together all the little elements we needed to do a Kickstarter for the 6-inch scale. And I remember Arlen, instead of paying like the total fee for something I got sculpted, he was like, just take part of this and buy a 3D printer with it. So I wound up getting this little 3D printer and printing out all the stuff, all the sculpts and everything that we did so far, and painting them in the house and everything. And luckily, I have a bunch of really great friends that do photography in town, and we took a bunch of photos and everything. And I distinctly remember like getting my ass chewed at work, and being like, ugh. And then like I hit launch on the Kickstarter and just kind of like forgot about it for an hour because I was just like they were like just giving me a hard time and everything, and it was just a stressful time. And I remember logging or like looking again at the Kickstarter at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, whoa, I was like, something's happening, something's going on. And I think by the end of the first day we might have gotten like I don't know, maybe like halfway there or something. It's hard to remember. It's all kind of a blur. And then the rest of that month consisted of me and the sculptors like staying up at night, like sculpting stuff, printing stuff, painting stuff, and then like taking like just like placeholder photos, and then like scheduling the photographers to take stuff so that we could hurry up and upload the stuff that we had gotten unlocked. And lastly, I remember the last day of the Kickstarter, everything was a real pleasure. It was so fun to do this whole thing. It felt very surreal. And the last day, it finally hit me where I was just exhausted, and I said, okay, I'm gonna take a nap, and then like I'll wake up the last hour or whatever to see what happens. And I woke up, and I noticed I think we were like 10K away from unlocking Thane, which was our big beefy chunky boy gorilla. And we unlocked that, and it just went like the trajectory just like went straight up. And I remember sitting in my kitchen and like watching it count down to 0, like when the Kickstarter ended, and I was like, whoa, this is life changing. And I think it like took 2 days to like really sink in that like we had done that well, and that this was going to be a life changing event. I could start doing this full time. And I've been working ever since. Like today was the first day that I didn't have some sort of crazy work thing to do for the toy line and or the comic books.
I think that's, first of all, that's amazing. And I think what were the final numbers on that in terms of your Kickstarter was what goal, and then what did you get?
So the goal was 100,000. And whenever it ended, it was like 360,000, which I was just like I distinctly remember like pinching myself on the arm, and I was like, this is real, right? Is this real? Mm-hmm. And then we had, so that's what we did on the Kickstarter, but then we matched those funds like with retailers and stuff too. So we just did way more than I had expected. We just really exceeded my expectations. And like I said, like we said, we were going to have a delivery date for wave 1, and we unlocked wave 1, wave 2, 5 character builder figures, 5 weapon sets, and 3 headsets. So it's a good problem to have, but it did it pushed back our production and our delivery date.
So I did back this. I'm expecting 3 figures. I can't tell you what they were. I did back it early on. What I appreciate about you as kind of like the head of this is I think the last like communication you put in is like number 61. Like you constantly update the Kickstarter community who backed you of what is going on, like step by step, and you're very transparent, which I really appreciate. So for me, I feel like, all right, I know this is going to happen. I can be patient. And I know that your production times have gotten more extreme because I know you wanted to have product for Legion Con, but that didn't happen. And then you wanted to get everything out by December, which might still happen. But
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
So yeah, I think many of us who have backed it root for you because we want this to happen. For those of you in the chat, if I know I have some questions queued up, I will ask them, but I am going to go around. We usually had a segment called Burning Questions, but we're just going to go around and each of us are going to just ask some questions. Josh, I know you wanted to start. What do you have in terms of questions for Jason?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You are delayed.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Shit, I don't even remember my question now.
What drove what?
How stressful is it to make your own toys?
So there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, but it's such a labor of love that, I had mentioned earlier that today was my first day off in like 3 months. Usually, it's very stressful, but because I love what I'm doing and I feel so lucky to be doing it, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be doing what I'm doing. So, other than wanting to make you guys feel way like I've exceeded your expectations when you get the toys in, that's the most amount of pressure or stress that I have. I do feel a little bad. Like sometimes I've got a little pushback from us like missing our delivery date, but I feel bad that I can't explain like, hey, listen, we need to get it done correctly. And a lot of times for the layperson, they don't understand that, yes, we have a factory, but our factory outsources tooling, they outsource packaging, they outsource plastic and stuff. So like they have to get all of those ducks lined up before they can do their work, And then we have to like do stuff like tolerance testing and make sure it's not going to break. Did it get mixed to the correct tolerance to where it's not going to snap or something? So all those little details and stuff are things that like kind of weigh heavily on me. But we have such a great project manager that that I'm not losing sleep at night. And I know we're going to get you these guys. We're going to get you the products and stuff. It's just a matter of like, are we going to get it like before Christmas or right after Christmas? That's the kind of thing that is just kind of up in the air, and it does like weigh a little heavily on me.
That's unfortunate that people give you that much pushback when there's other companies that you gave your money to and it's been over 3 years and still no figure. But
are you talking about other Kickstarters?
Personally, if they come after Christmas, no, I'm talking about Mezco.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, I think you're doing great. These figures look awesome. I can't wait to get them in hand. If they come after Christmas, that's even better for me. I mean, honestly, let's do that. Um, really like this product and the figures. I don't know what it is. Like, I've never thought about like wanting a upright humanoid ape figure. I haven't, but now that I'm gonna have one, it's exciting. And plus, I can mesh them with my Joes and all that stuff,
Exactly.
and it'll be fun. I'm gonna have a
I've
good
heard
time.
people saying they want to have them as mind bender creations.
Uh, if I ever get my Dr. Mindbender.
I think one thing that going back on what Josh was saying, just in terms of the characters. First of all, when you showed those figures, I'm like, whoa, they look incredible in hand, because so many companies can do photography tricks to make their figures look great. And what let me put you in a one shot for that. What you kind of showed was that, wow, they look incredible. They look really great. Articulated, the design is incredible. And this is a Kickstarter. One thing that I felt reminiscent was that I think Josh might be thinking of. They remind me of, like, you said you were an 80s child, right? They
Right.
remind me
Exactly.
of Thundercats, like Thundercats, He-Man, all of that.
Right. You know, I wanna hold up. Uh, I want to hold up Kali, who was our Mumra, Skeletor, Cobra Commander villain.
Cool.
I just think that this paint deco is just like over the top awesome. Like I feel like this is
Look
like
at that.
like Cadillac armor. Like it's just ridiculous.
Look at
Um,
those shoulder. Look at that shoulder pad.
the little
Oh,
Paul, his little
oh
shoulder
my
pauldron,
God.
and his cape's black on the outside, but like when you flip it up, it's purple. I just like all those little extra little details and stuff, and he's got several different hands. I just gave him this one. It's like a little bit more expressive. He's just like but yeah.
That's awesome. Just going to one question in the chat. Craven the Collector says, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Wasn't Alice supposed to be a Kickstarter exclusive? I'm glad others can get on them, but that's some sort of incentive for those of us who back the Kickstarter.
So that's a great question. So Vero Atlas, Big Bad Toy Store participated in the Kickstarter, so they're able to offer that product on their website. It's almost like someone buying something off of Hasbro Pulse and then offering it on eBay or on their personal store on Shopify or something like that. And so while I do get that can be frustrating, I can't really tell customers or bankers to not sell the product afterwards. And there's another issue where factories actually require a minimum amount of figures. And so Big Bad Toy Store ordering that, like, as much as they did, actually helped us meet our minimum quantity. So there is like a little bit of give and take when it comes to that type of stuff. I do realize it's a little bit off-putting. Like you want like it to be your Kickstarter exclusive, but because we're dealing with a legit factory that requires a certain amount of SKUs or a certain amount of units per SKU, we did have to kind of go that route, and it's not ideal, but they helped us out. They allowed us to meet our minimum numbers for that particular figure. Without them doing that, it would basically cause the unit price to kind of skyrocket and make it to where I'm selling it to the customer for cheaper than it actually costs to produce, if that makes sense. Hopefully that explains it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that really makes sense in terms of just, Big Bad Toys backed it, so they have that figure, right? And so they can buy as many as they want.
Right.
And like you said, you can't stop someone from selling their pre-order on eBay or whatever it is.
Right. I mean,
that happens all the time.
Like I've like not to totally like derail, but like I've noticed people, not to keep mentioning Hasbro, but like they'll buy 3 Sentinels, keep one, and sell to and like make a profit, like not only pay for what they want but make a profit, you know. So it's a secondary market type of thing. You can't really kind of control what they're going to do with the product after they've purchased it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Josh, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, no. My other question was kind of like what drove him to create these toys, but I think he's pretty much answered that.
Well, you can definitely see the
This
influence
delay on my end
on these toys.
Yeah, you know,
is fucking terrible. I'm gonna check out
it's
next
funny.
Monday. Hopefully better.
It feels like a D&D campaign that's going like
I'm
horribly
sorry,
wrong
but
and
it's
everything
hard
it
to
does.
talk when nobody.
Yeah, well, we're trying our best. We
Yeah.
want you on, Josh. You're right. It is kind of tough, but we want you on. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to run Ethernet from my router into here. So
Got it. It could be that.
Yeah,
It also could be your computer that's on delay too. It might be running way too many things. So
yeah, I absolutely loved the Masters of the Universe growing up and Thundercats. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but the Satanic Scare was happening whenever the Thundercats came out. And I remember like really campaigning for like a good 3 weeks to get Mumrock because his eyes glowed red, and everyone was like, "That's the devil," and I was like, "No, that's classic," you know. But I remember like whenever I finally got Lion-O, he was a good bit taller than the Moto figures. So I just remember sitting in the driveway and like him just like mercilessly slaughtering like every Masters of the Universe character I had, and then like finishing off He-Man with like a sword to the abdomen. And I was like, "Oh no, you're not the best anymore," you know. So, but I equally love both of them, you know, and I love the
Yeah.
sandboxes that both IPs have created for themselves, where they're like, "I like robot bears with fur glued to them. I'm gonna do that," you know. And He-Man's kind of like, "I'm a barbarian, but I have lasers," you know. And I'm like, I like the freedom of this wild, crazy, quirky world, or both of their worlds, you know. So
yeah, I totally see. Like, I think when I backed your Kickstarter, I was on this Thundercats kick, and
right.
I was like, Thundercats. I want them. Like, I want all of these. One of them really reminded me of Tigra, not Tigra. Is his name?
Yeah,
Tigra?
actually, that's Tiberius. I don't have him with me. He's upstairs. So this figure started off. You know, I did a 3 and 3 inch. I did the 4-inch scale. I'm just gonna say that it's easier.
Yeah.
And this figure started off as an homage to Lion-O, just for fun. It wasn't called Lion-O or anything. This is a Treyu. And whenever I did the 6-inch scale, I said, okay, I have to decouple from that idea. I want this to be his own figure. I want him to be his own character. So I remember just kind of like spending a week, like just trying to totally decouple that color scheme of the Lion-O color scheme, as far as like the blues and the reds and all that stuff. And just took me like a week to just completely purge that out of my system. And this is what we got. You'll notice that his butterfly shoulders are really loose.
Yes.
That is because this particular figure doesn't have the sonic weld on. I don't know if you can see right now, but there's a gap right there.
Okay.
So the torso is just glued together. It's not actually sonic welded, which basically equals like a floppy. What is that called? Shoulder pivot. Anyway,
Yes.
Firefly.
I just wanted to mention it in case anyone was worried why it's doing that. But yeah, so
this is one of the figures that I got, and I'm
Oh,
so
is it?
glad. Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that he is based on Lion-O. So I'm like, so I can say that I got Lion-O.
Right. I mean, he's not anymore.
I know, not anymore.
Not anymore. They're both lions and they're like Animen. That's where the similarities end. his personality is very different in the comic book. And yeah, like he'll actually he's part of Pale's team. So part of the first story arc is obviously world building, but we're also building Pale's team. So he's traveling to different, great houses, which each of the animal kingdoms have their own great house. So we start off in the ape kingdom, which is having a civil war, which is why this guy doesn't like this guy. And the first kingdom they go to I call them houses, great houses. So the first great house they go to is the Pharaohlist house, which he's actually the son of the king. And they're going to slowly kind of make their way out and recruit different animal warriors to take on Kali and keep them from ruining their planet.
Oh my God, that sounds so awesome. That sounds amazing.
You guys read the comic books, it's exciting to talk about it and kind of sneak peek. And this is one of our army builder figures that you guys haven't seen with the helmet before. It's always been just kind of off to the side. So now we can kind of show off like, oh, hey, he's got his helmet now, So I've been displaying them with the helmet. So these good guy army builders also have removable helmets as well. And one of the things, since I have him right here, I'm right-handed, so I displayed this figure with the shield in the left hand. But if you want to switch out, you can just simply do like that, and now you have yourself a right-handed shield. So.
All right, I'm going to be ordering all of these figures tonight. The rest of the waves,
yeah, man,
all one, two. Jeez.
Don't hold back. You only live once, and you gotta treat yourself.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, good segue, because the person that makes sure that other people treats himself, no chewing. Why don't you go into some of the questions that you had ready?
Yeah. First off, Jason, what you were talking about going from a 4-inch scale to a 6-inch scale, and you talked about that briefly. That it's popular. Is that the only reason why the jump?
You know what? So again, talking about like during COVID, I don't know about you guys, but like I remember falling in love with the afternoon nap. Like I have not stopped taking siestas, and I'm never going to stop. But the other thing that I also discovered was awesome sales on Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. And I saw that there was some like really good sales on the Star Wars Black figures. And I was like, oh, let me try one or two of those. And I think by the end of lockdown, I had like 15 Black figures, and I had already started getting Marvel Legend figures. And so like I feel like everything just kind of dovetailed, where I figured out that okay, I love the 4-inch scale and the 6-inch scale equally as much. And as much as I love the 4-inch scale, I saw that the trends were all the major IPs were trending into the 6-inch scale, and I feel like I just got in under the wire before all the other indie toys kind of made that jump. I hope that answers your question.
No, it does. It does. My second question, without knowing, like you had mentioned, just clicking the button on the Kickstarter, letting it run, being surprised that each milestone I hit, each tier accomplished, without, back then you didn't know it was going to reach $360,000.
Right.
And knowing if you had any inclination that it was going to reach that type of success, would you have done anything differently with the tiers or the waves coming out, figures? Would you have pushed for some other things to go forward first?
So I feel like I ran a very good, tight campaign that was ambitious but not unrealistic. But the one thing I would have done is in the little risk reward section, I would have mentioned that, hey, for like whenever we unlock a new set of tooling, it's going to push our delivery date back further. So like everyone should keep in mind that like the better we do, the more off the initial delivery date that we set is going to be. But what's interesting is it took me 6 months to set up the Kickstarter. Like I just like took my time and tried to plan out like just really war game the whole thing. And the factory was like, do not offer more than this. So what we unlocked was like what we were basically allowed to do without the factory being like, what have you done to us? You know?
Don't offer more than like these many figures or something like that. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm sure we've all seen Kickstarters where the creator and the backers get that summit fever where they just kind of keep unlocking and unlocking and unlocking, and it's exciting and really cool. But you get to the point where when I say you, the creator puts himself in a tough spot and the factory in a tough spot, because now they've got to set out this big block of time to produce everything at the same time, get it out the door, and like also work around their other customers and clients who also have schedules and delivery dates and stuff like that. And so that was one thing that I tried to really kind of dial myself in and be like, okay, let's be realistic. Let's make stretch goals that I tried to do like small baby stretch goals that enhance the figures that you were already backing. So if you look back at the Kickstarter, the first 2 stretch goals that I had, I actually just put as unlock on the first day, which was like a basic weapon set and a head pack that would make the 6 figures you had. 3 of them you could give 2 army builders a little bit of a little bit more personality, and for the Atreyu figure. So those type of like smaller, bite-sized stretch goals allowed us to keep all the customers and backers engaged without going too long before unlocking an actual character. So that's just one of the things that I felt it made me feel good about it, and the customers like always were like checking back every day to see what got unlocked, or like how close are we to unlocking Lexion, or did we unlock Thane yet? And it also kind of forced us into the toy news cycle, because people were trying to figure out, hey, is this character going to get updated this week or in the next few days? So yeah, the main thing that I would have done differently is setting the expectation for the delivery date being pushed back as we do better. So
that's really interesting. That's great insights into a Kickstarter like this, a successful one. That's an issue. I never thought about that. The more successful you are, the more problems you got to run into, the more complicated it is.
Yeah.
Of the line, and this is actually a fun one for me. Not every character that is about to be released is this at the same popularity. What's the one? Is there a single character in there that's that you think is like a sleeper that people have a little bit of FOMO once people start to get this in hand?
Believe it or not, the Tiberius figure, the one that who said that it reminded y'all of Tiger.
Yeah. So
that one actually,
I got him. I got Atreyu, and I got Pale.
Yeah,
so
I would love to go. I kind of want to go run upstairs and grab it real quick, but I don't want to just like leave a blank screen. I think he's definitely a sleeper. He's got so much personality, and
can you go and grab?
Can I go grab him real quick?
I want to see him.
Yeah, let me go grab him.
We're gonna talk. I have a lot of things in the chat. We have a lot of questions for Jason, but highly articulated has been here. Perfect takes times. These figures are going to be amazing.
They look it already. I mean, the articulation on white is phenomenal.
I just want them all. Like I'm looking to see how much. So like you get.
You want to go all in? Is there an all in number that we can get?
I might go on. If their figures here aren't by Christmas, I expect Jason to FaceTime my 7-year-old and explain to her why there's nothing under the tree.
That'd be an incredibly personal touch on Kickstarter to be like, all right, we missed our deadline. Let me FaceTime you.
Craven the Hunter, like the collector. Sorry, not the hunter. Totally understand. I thought that was a great question, and I'm glad you answered it or you asked it. So now go beat up Spider-Man.
With that said, Chris, it's available. I looked it up on Big Bad Toy Store for that Kickstarter exclusive figure.
Atlas.
$8. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I got the Atlas one. I think I only backed 3 figures. I think you have
But
to do.
Can currently.
Yeah, you can currently. That's right.
So this figure is Tiberius. This is an early prototype. He does have that seam that you can see. That's why the arms are floppy again. He's also missing his tiger stripes. But this figure is probably the least popular SKU, and I think it's a shame because he's a really cool figure. I really like the kind of pearlized armor set that he's got. A cool little crossbow.
I mean, is he basically the same sculpt as Atlas?
He is very similar to Kali, just a different paint theme. Vero Atlas has a furry body. He's actually got pails, metal skirting, and I think he's actually he even shares the same calves. You know what? I can run and go grab him too. Let me show you.
Yeah, go to him. I want to see all these figures.
I should have grabbed it while I was upstairs. Let me show you Cordoon real quick.
Hold on, Jason. We went over a comment. Highly articulate says, "The figures aren't here by Christmas. I expect Jason to FaceTime my 7-year-old and explain to her why there's nothing under the tree."
Just send a picture of like an IOU. There used to be so down here, like in Louisiana, we have these weird bars that are called drive-through daiquiris where you can like just go and pick up your alcohol, and they put a little piece of tape where the like straw goes, and it's like not an open container. Anyway, inside the bar for 2 years, it's not an exaggeration. Inside the bar, they had this big giant piece of cardboard that said big screen TV coming soon. And so like I used to joke that like I'm just gonna go in my garage and put like a piece of cardboard that says like Ferrari coming soon. But so this is Cordoon. This is the last figure that we unlocked before Thane. So I friggin' love this figure. I feel like his head sculpt's got like a lot of real personality. And we were kind of jokingly calling him the Nintendo Switch character because like in the blue and the red, which I didn't even notice until someone mentioned it afterward. But these shoulder pads are removable, so if for some reason, I mean, everything on this figure, all the armor's removable with the exception of these bicep armor parts, which are actually sculpted on. But we have a primal figure. A primal ancients figure who's in the same color, and he's actually got a lynx head. So if you want this build without that on there, you can just buy it. It's the same exact build. Let me go grab the Lexion, and we'll be right back.
Jason, before you jump up, do you also have the head pack for the villain? The villain's head pack?
Yes, I will bring that.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome. Cox Great, yeah, he bounced out. Sorry, buddy. It's all good. We miss you though. And as Unworthy says, I forgive you, Josh. As far as delivery time, the wait isn't a problem at all. The more the shelf space being filled up by Hasbro flooding us with releases. It's true. I think everyone's flooding us with all of their releases.
Yeah, it's not Hasbro. Mezco's doing a good job.
I'm getting hit in the face with a lot of Mezco. Some of my 5K orders too. Oh God, it's the worst. Hey,
champagne problems, Chris. Champagne problems.
Seriously, Danny.
Yes.
What did you get on Black Friday? I want to know.
I really didn't get much, honestly. It actually worked out. I am not a big Black Friday person, so I usually just go out and buy stuff. I did buy this. I found this is a Mezco, believe it or not. And look, it talks.
Oh my God.
It's a Mezco. So
Danny, if I ever visited your home, I'd be so scared. You're like all the childhood fears in one household.
That's the beauty.
Ace Ventura 2, when Ace Ventura walks into the taxidermy of like, and he freaks out. That's would be me or no chewing in your house.
Well, honestly, I'm one of those people, like, I love different lines. I just stick to one line of figures or even one genre. So, like, anytime I see things, like, I've been buying a lot of the Migos too. I know they released a few of them. But as far as Black Friday, I mean, I really didn't buy. I did order. Trick or Treat Studios has a plush 1-to-1 scale Chucky that's coming soon, and it's like a cheaper version, but it's the same version as the original one they had released, which was like $500. But this one seems more durable, like you could actually, so I have them for display. So I have the other one put away. So this one that's coming in, it's like 1-to-1 scale. And I have it for display, so I'm gonna have it. And I have this whole big old setup going on. So like all this you see right here will never be like this. It's just taking me a bit longer. So I'm gonna have.
So you're gonna finally get to set it up.
Okay. I'm finally gonna set up my little horror room going.
I cannot wait to see.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I'm working at it. It's gonna look great. I mean, everything is just gonna be displayed, and I think I started opening the Miles today too.
The what? Oh, the Miles hot toy.
Hot toy, and he's amazing looking. And I was like, I don't have time to actually play with him today.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we've been talking about Vero Atlas. In my opinion, I think he comes with the coolest accessory. His magic staff actually is see-through, like this little crystal is see-through. I think that's really freaking cool looking. I actually had him holding some Power Rangers effects. He actually has all of his stripes on it, so you can see tiger stripes on his legs and stuff.
Oh my god!
And here's a comparison of the two. So even though there's the same head sculpt, they look a good bit different.
Wow, they look fantastic.
Thank you. And you guys mentioned the headsets, which I gotta tell you. Some of these headsets, like I'm gonna have these to display at at shows and stuff. But some of these alternate headsets are kind of giving the default head a run for their money. So this guy right here, oops.
For me, it's your Villains head pack that looks phenomenal.
Yeah, you know what? I'll show you the Villains one right after this. I just want to show. This is my personal favorite. So this Lexion head, let me just show that off real quick. Get it on there. Don't do this to me. You know what? I can't do it left hand. Let me switch. I'm right handed. Let me switch it off. All right. Nope. No pressure.
They want to put you on the spot. I don't want you to break a sample, maybe a hairdryer.
It won't break. It's not going to break. I probably should mention that I was eating baked chicken before this, so my hand's slightly greasy. But, I mean, come on. Like, how cool is that? Like, he looks so freaking cool. I've actually been keeping this particular head on him because I'm torn between which one of these heads do I like better. Like, this is the default head, like that's the character. Like, this is what's going to be in the comic book. But that particular head is so cool. I'm torn between what I want to display it with. See, it went on really easily. Okay, so you were talking about the Vile Villain pack.
Yes.
So this is one of the Vile Villain heads. This is one of Blight's henchmen.
He looks like Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
He really does. Yeah, this is war paint. Yeah.
Is that on the Blight buck?
What's funny is he's missing his pupils, but I'm gonna tell the factory just to leave the pupils off because I love the way it looks.
Yeah, I like the way it looks right there.
Yeah. So So Blight is gonna have he's basically like a saboteur. So he's gonna have a couple of these guys that are kind of gonna give him backup and stuff. So that's the Vile Villain head for that.
I want that one.
Let's see here. What we got? Let me look at the pack. I have them all mixed up. Let's see. What the heck? Oh, wait.
Jason, you're going to have a big Toy Talk order coming through. I can already tell the way Chris is talking, ogling and everything.
I can't wait.
I literally just ordered 2 more figures.
Did you really?
Did you?
Yes.
Was that your early Christmas present? So
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna leave again, but I must not have grabbed the Vile Villain's head,
Okay.
the little baggie. But I do have the adventure armor set. I mean the headset, so that's the default head, right? For your army builder Ravager. So I learned I'm gonna use my right hand to take off and put on the heads instead of trying to do it left-handed.
Hey, while you do that,
the first time I'm putting this head on.
Josh is in the chat. He asked, "Are you taking a loss on the comics? Are they cost effective?"
So for the Kickstarter, we're basically just breaking even with them with what we're charging. But after everyone gets after all the Kickstarter folks get their comic book rewards, we're going to be listing them with Diamond Distribution. So anyone in the country that's got a comic shop that wants to pre-order them, we'll be able to pre-order them. That's what I get for trying to scratch one foot with the other foot. Anyway, and at that point, then we'll start charging the correct markup price. During the Kickstarter, it's kind of like just like a little extra so that we can get people to learn about the universe that the characters live in. Now, this head right here is part of the feral felines. You'll notice that there's no pupils on this one. It's just an early factory sample. So I'll switch this one out real quick, so you can.
And while you do that, Danny, what are some questions that you have for Jason?
First off, congratulations on your Kickstarter.
Thank you so much.
And as far as you come, and I mean, they look amazing, and I'm already like tempted to buy the head sculpt that looks like Caesar. It looks cool. So you guys were at LegionCon, correct?
Yes, we were. Yes.
So I actually walked up to you guys. You guys were like, I'm not sure if I spoke to you or I spoke to someone else that's there, and I was the first thing I said was, "Are these for sale?" That's the first thing I said.
We got that a lot, which was a great compliment. You might have spoken to me, but my hair was like really crazy at the time. So, and everyone in the crew was like, "Dude, what's going on with your hair?" And I was like, "I'm getting a haircut when I get home. Calm down."
So one of the things that I loved about the figures, even seeing them in person, they brought like you like Thundercats. One of the things that it reminded me of so much, I was a big fan of I don't know if you guys remember Primal Rage and Bloody Wheels.
Was that a video game?
Bloody Wheels. I was just playing it the other day.
And the first thing, the video game. So it was I used to play those a lot. So one of the things, one of my questions is, like if everything goes as well and everything goes as planned, which it is right now because they're amazing. I don't see how they can't, Do you see yourself expanding the line? It's the animal kingdom. Are we going to see like a reptilian clan or underwater? I don't know. Do you have thoughts like that?
We're going to be giving away this is more of like a Lion-O type hairdo, but it's basically Tiberius. So in the first comic book, we kind of set up the world, and we were giving it away free online, but I'll tell you guys, the synopsis is that in the future, humanity decides to terraform other planets, and they do that by sending out like multiple big giant spaceships that can terraform planets called arcs. And our particular arc got the AI started to kind of go rampant and started judging humanity on its way to the newest planet. And so its answer to humanity's flaws was to take the animal stock, the DNA stock that it had on the ship, and to make chimeras of humans and different animals in order to figure out if it could kind of remove the like original sin or flaws of humanity, like greed and war and stuff like that. And so basically the reason I'm saying this is that's my sandbox. The AI can make any kind of chimera that it wants. So like you'll notice that like as you read the comic books, some of the prey animals that they hunt and eat look kind of like a deer mixed with a reptile. and like some of the monsters that they fight look kind of like a bear mixed with like a salamander and stuff like that. So basically, we'll be able to write what we need in order to make the story engaging and interesting and keep readers guessing. But as far as like different kind of animal types, uh, I'm trying to base our toys on animal types and body types. So like this is our hero buck. It's like your ideal Adonis type, male figure. And then we have the female counterpart to that. And then we also have our like what I call our Thor buck, our Hulk buck, which is the Thane gorilla. The next thing we're gonna do is our Thor buck, which is gonna have like Atreyu's dad. He's kind of big and buff, and we're gonna make a cyber wolf out of that guy, and then like Kali Prime, which is like a muscular version of Kali. Then we'll move on to we've got avian figures planned, reptile figures planned, and then as you get a little bit further into this first story arc, you'll notice that it's not just Kali, it's not just his army. There's another house called Wolftorn, and they're all basically canines. And when they're introduced, they're all wearing like suits of armor. So you'll have like knights, but they're basically not werewolves, but they're wolves. And their support class will be like coyotes and foxes and stuff like that. Maybe not all the foxes like being under the bad wolf guys, So stuff will kind of start off very kind of like black hat, white hat, and then it'll start to kind of move into a gray area where like, hey, this rabbit community is a farming community, but they might not necessarily like that role. They might start getting interested in learning the art of war and maybe kind of building, siege weapons and stuff. So I feel like it's something that like I want to kind of ease the reader into where it's like, oh, this is very black and white, and like it's like the rebels versus the empire, and then you realize that like, hey, there's kind of like a gray area, and everything's not quite as black and white as you think. I hope that answers your question.
No, it does, and there's so much room to like do so many things with this line.
Thank you.
And that's one of the things that I seen. This minute I saw these figures, that's the first thing I was thinking about. Like I was thinking of wolves and like other species and stuff. Now my next question.
Wolves.
Hold on. Speaking of which, I do have a segue. Unworthy Collector wants to see Squirrel Kingdoms.
A squirrel? A squirrel?
And he would also back a buffalo figure.
So the Thane buck, that Hulk buck, I am in the process of modifying that to make like a big water buffalo, water ox, and a buffalo, like a American buffalo. What did he mention? A squirrel. So the Makers Guild. The Makers Guild is going to start being introduced in issue 4, and they kind of consist of smaller, weaker animals that use their brain over brawn. So they'll be, they're a very integral part in helping defeat Kali, and we'll kind of see what the gadgets come up with in order to kind of offset his. They have like Kali's army has like they have overwhelming numbers, and then they also have access to the AIs like laser pistols and stuff like that. So they're very much just like a war machine that's kind of like steamrolling their way outward, and kind of just they either completely destroy another animal house, or they'll kind of like take them in and kind of throw them into the horde army. I promised that I got everything, but I didn't get the vile villain head. So let me get those. I will be right back. I promise that I won't forget anything. I'm sorry.
No worries. Unworthy is also all in for the Back the Moose campaign. I don't know. He's a good salesman. I will say this.
What would be really cool if they did like since the one looks like Lionel, right? What if they did? You guys remember Primal Rage, right? Remember there were the two gorillas,
yes.
And Blizzard, and it was Chaos.
Yeah.
Like if they did like tribute gorillas painted that way, like one was green with red, the other one was blue and white, Like they did tribute. Oh man, that would be so freaking dope.
Don't make me buy a thing, Danny.
I might just buy it and customize it.
Oh my goodness!
I
already have 3 figures in the cart already.
They look so good.
So we kind of talked about the scale of how big our standard figure was and how big Thane was, and just to kind of put that into perspective. So this is one of the this is what I call the ancients, and they're basically a character builder that it's a very standard figure. It doesn't come with a lot of armor, and this will have pupils. It's just a factory sample that doesn't have it yet. It's also not even glued together. You can kind of see it. I actually popped this apart to see what the innards were like. Anyway, I want to kind of show you guys how much bigger Thane's going to be. So this is our standard ideal figure. This is Thane's shoulder strap. So just to kind of give you an idea.
Kidding. Are you serious?
How much bigger he is. So
you're joking. Oh my god.
There we go. So
I just heard No Chewing put Thane in his cart.
So yeah, it's big. So okay, so
I am looking at it right now on my screen.
Hey, one more question. Highly Articulated asks, what wave will we get Boone?
So if I don't know who asked that, but Boone is going to be using the Rabbit Buck. So once that Rabbit Buck goes into production, we're going to be tooling his parts as well. So you'll be getting Boone and Grimes probably in the same exact wave, because Grimes will be using King Hannibal's body. So I'm hoping, like realistically, probably first quarter of 2024, which will be here before we know it. If we really think about it, it'll be here before we know it. Right now we have scheduled our next wave is an Army Builder wave. That's going to feature our Primal Battle board game, which is a role-playing game using your toys as your game piece. And if it's your first time playing an RPG, you don't have to worry about building out your figure stats. If you have Cordoon, this figure will have already punched in all his stats and everything. So all you have to do is roll the dice and enjoy the game. It's going to be maybe a 10-minute max setup to start fighting your figures together. The wave after that is actually heavily inspired by issue 3, which is our Gladiator waves. It'll feature a Gladiator Pale, Gladiator Treyu, a Hyena, which is our first canine figure, and a Leopard. So
are there plans for more Army figures? Army Builders, sorry.
Army Builders? Yes. So the next wave that we offer after wave 2 is all Army Builders. So in other words, you're going to get a Horde variant, which is going to be a Horde Knight. It'll come with 2 different heads. So like the figures that you already have, you'll be able to make a total of 4 different looking Horde figures at that point. It'll also come with a Fearless Stalker, which will be an Army Builder for your Fearless figures, all the Cat Warriors. He will also have a Horde Berserker, which is the Thane body, but he's got he's got a big helmet and stuff and a different paint deco. And then we have a figure exclusive for the Chernari Centurion, which is like this gold armored Chernari figure. Now let's see. He's similar to this guy. He comes with a nice white cape and everything. Comes with a helmet and everything like that. I actually don't have that. I already sent it off to the factory to get going on it. I lost my train of thought. Oh, and then after the Gladiator waves, that's when we're going to introduce the Rabbit, Horde Assassin, and the first 2 female figures. I'm trying to think. After that, we will be moving into our Thor book, which will be King Hannibal and a female Cat Warrior. And I'm losing my focus, but I haven't planned out. We have 2023 already planned out, so we got a bunch of fun stuff ahead. I don't know. I might try to sneak in the Reptile Warrior, but yeah, we got a bunch of really cool stuff planned out.
So I know in the chat people are asking where you can pre-order these. You can pre-order on Big Bad Toys, but if you look in the description, I've linked in the website for Jason's Animals Warriors of the Kingdom pre-order. You can order directly from that site. You can pre-order directly from that site. So look in our description while you subscribe. Click like as well, and you can click that link, and then you can also order some figures for yourself. We've been doing that as Jason has been talking. So
well, thank you. I don't know if you pulled the trigger yet, but you'll notice that I haven't turned off the Black Friday, whatever, Saturday, and then Monday, Cyber Monday, the free shipping on our backer on what you just mentioned. It's still free shipping right now, and I haven't turned it off yet. I probably won't turn it off until tomorrow.
So right now it's free shipping.
Yeah, I mean that's for the continental U.S. Continental U.S. Everywhere else, I believe it's like $7 to $9, which is outrageously cheap. Might as well be free.
Tyler asks, are there any plans for a few years in the future to have pinless limbs?
You know what? We could have done pinless limbs right out the gate, but part of the reason why we aren't doing pinless is because it actually limits our parts catalog. So it's kind of hard to tell on the Kickstarter stuff, but like this arm right here, the Sapien figures actually have longer forearms than the cat figures. So I don't know if this will come off on camera, but like those are two different. Oh, you can kind of tell they're two different lengths. So basically, having pins allows us to very easily do that type of thing without like blowing our budget out of the way out of a practical type of thing. I haven't like totally eliminated that idea, but if we get like a cartoon or something on Netflix where we have this like huge budget and it allows us to do that type of thing where we're only using a part one time for one character, then I could see us doing it. It's not a technological limit. It's more of like a budgetary. We want to get like a lot of use out of parts limit. Hopefully that answered their question.
That does. I mean, honestly, just your vision and what you've just talked about in terms of all the figures that are coming out just shows how much passion you have for this, as well as I see the struggle of it's a what did you say? It's a gift and it's a curse. Like you're doing what you love, right, at the same time not being able to shut it off because you want to keep doing it, but you need to shut it off because you need to live too.
Right. And I want to, moving forward, I want to offer waves and product in a like responsible way for the factory, myself, and the customer, which is their customer is the priority. We don't want you guys waiting a year plus for these 2 waves. That's not ideal. Like we're going to start offering waves of 4, which I find that Super 7 has like really dialed that in. They offer their 4 waves. We're not talking about Silverhawks. We're gonna forget about that. But like I found that like the Thundercats and the Ninja Turtles offering that 4-figure assortment is a lot easier to push through production. It's not so hard on like I'm a collector at the end of the day. It's not so hard on our wallets. And I feel like it's the best like all around like the golden area to where everyone is happiest.
Just one thing, highly articulated. I think knows you, Adam Drake here. Jason likes.
I hate Adam. I actually have a oh damn it! I ruined my joke. What's it called? A restraining order. I'm just joking. I love Adam.
Danny, do you have any other questions for Jason?
Well, I'm curious. Are those dials part of that line behind you? Are those dials part of those figures? And if so, will you possibly make those as well in the future?
So that's a great question. Crashbox Customs did these for us. Okay. They debuted at Legion's Con, and as far as I know, he will be offering these in the new year. So this one right here on my right, stage left, is taken from the architecture of the Chinari, like their big tree houses. And this one on my left, stage right, is part of the inside of Kali's castle. So you can see it's like Aztec kind of mixed with technology and stuff, which is very kind of true to the comic book interior. So yeah, Crashbox Customs on Instagram, hit them up, or on their website. I brought everything that the factory sent me recently. So again, this is part of our little character builders. Right now it's just very basic. It's like the cat. They actually come with 3 different sets of hands, and then like his metallic skirt. But I can't wait to customize this guy. And I'm gonna show you some of the ones that I actually started adding armor to. One of the fun things about a Kickstarter is you can do stuff like this, where you can do like a little bit of an homage. This is by no means going to be like a normal part of our production where we're doing homage figures, but it was a great little extra to have. So let me go ahead and show you 2 of the Primal Ancients that I kind of like decked out in battle gear.
This is incredible.
So I basically made another army builder by just like slapping on some greaves on this guy, gave him a shield. I gave him 1 arm gauntlet, and actually that strap comes with him. This one actually comes with the most accessories as far as like our basic like character builders come. But look at that. Now you have like 2 different looking army builders that go right together in your army.
That's incredible.
One of the things that I was pleasantly surprised about, whenever we built out the articulation, we could have gone gangbusters. The only thing that this doesn't have, that a lot of modern figures have, is a calf swivel. And the reason we didn't do that was because these greaves are meant to be, removable. And if it's just a little off, it's going to be a pain in the butt to try to put those on. But the reason I was mentioning articulation is this is the same exact sculpt as this guy. And look how having him hunched over and having this one upright makes it feel like 2 different characters. Like just doing little things like that. And this character is called a horde scavenger. So these guys basically go on the battlefield after everything's said and done, and just kind of pick up a bunch of loot and stuff. So I kind of have him decked out. He's actually got Lexion's shoulder pad. He's got some greaves from one of the Ravengers, and he's got this is another greave from Lexion. So I just kind of went and grabbed a bunch of stuff and threw it on there. And he's wearing a Ravager helmet too. So I think these are going to be, we had talked about sleeper figures earlier. And I think once folks realize that you can basically make your own character with these, they'll be a hot commodity.
And those are the ancient, the primal ancient figures.
Ancients, yeah. So and they will come in a box, but they won't come in quite if you look at our boxes, they look very similar in size to. They're slightly bigger than the G.I. Joe Classified Marvel Legends. Okay. Those will be in a little bit more of a little narrower case, but they will still be boxed.
Craven the Collector asks, "Are you planning on doing one elephant that was never unlocked in your first Kickstarter? That one looked awesome."
What happened? Oh my God! Why did my phone turn off?
Your what?
What happened? What the hell?
You just turn over. We lost Jason.
I got kicked out too earlier.
I did too. I think there's something going on here. It's a little weird. I got kicked off on my iPad, and I also got kicked off on my
bigger, better question while we wait for Jason to jump back in. What did you add to your cart?
Atlas, Vera Atlas, which you can pre-order, I guess, and the villain Kali. Kali, like the head sculpt didn't really do it for me, but I love the paint job on that chest, like that whole like paint job on the costume. And you know what's in my cart right now? The villain's head pack, which I'm like, it's $15.
I have that in my cart. It's
like,
not bad. It's $5 a head.
Are we gonna just ignore the fact that you just said the paint job on the chest?
On the chest.
Because
hey, Danny.
Neptune always makes the joke about what is the joke about the
bare chested?
Bare chested.
Bare chested. So
also,
I had
Chris
to
get all the
say
all
that
the
this was a
ancient
cover
figures,
chest.
no armor.
Yeah. Why would I put armor on them? They're all bare chested.
I really hope they expand that line. I really hope they do. Like, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I kind of want the ape. I don't know their names, but all the apes. I want all of them. I want the Caesar face, the head sculpt.
Oh yeah,
I know that.
Like,
that's in the villain pack.
That's in the cart right now.
I already ordered Blight. Callie's in the cart. Core Dune is also in the cart as well. That's the Nintendo Switch figure. The blue and the red on one side.
Yeah, I didn't get him.
So
what else?
Now Jason's not making him again.
He's not going to make him again. So.
Yeah, the one they showed us the Onyx action figure, the one that was all black. I could totally see myself customizing that to be Animal Warrior, Black Panther.
Hey, you're a customizer now. You should do it.
Yeah, I was just about to say
customizers.
I did want to mention that, Jason. Samurai Chris, welcome first of all, and then for Wave 1, he's looking to get them out soon, hopefully this month. Like he said, the Kickstarter was so successful, it did push back production on all of the things, all the tiers and everything that he had unlocked. Unworthy collecting. That's how you avoid answering a question by bouncing out. I hope he comes back. I don't know. It seems kind of long.
I hope he comes back too. I had 2 last questions. I want to ask him if there's any translucent monkeys coming my way. Like, I want some.
Why would you want a translucent monkey?
Well, why wouldn't you want a translucent monkey? No, no armor, bare-chested translucent monkey.
Jesus. Oh man, they're great. Yeah, they're really good looking. They're really nice figures.
The selling point for me off this having them guests tonight is the articulation. Looks unreal.
I mean, okay, so hold on. I'm just texting him. Oh yeah, he's gonna try to get on. His phone died. That's what happened. So yeah, articulation looks great.
Whoever sculpted it
look incredible.
Who's ever sculpting those figures is doing such an amazing job. Needs to possibly get hired somewhere else to do something because he's doing such an amazing job. I don't know if it's like one. Is it one person doing it, or is it like multiple people?
Multiple people.
I thought he said it was. I thought he said he only listed one. He only said one name.
Craven the Collector. Everything Jason is saying is a huge testament of the passion he's putting into this. Sleeper Apartment for sure. That's right. I totally agree. Like, that's what I love about just interviewing Foxforge Toys, Jason. You see the passion, and that's what really like intrigues you. Even with Mythic Legions, like you see them just talk about the product, and you want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of that crew. All right, we got Jason back on. Hey how's it going?
What's up, man?
I don't know why the phone died. It was plugged in the whole time, but it went kaput. So.
Oh, that's weird.
You can see my toys. I'm in my man cave right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why it conked out, but I'm sorry. Someone asked about elephants, I think.
Yeah.
So we have General Mambu design, but he's not in production. We also have he's part of the House Pacadine, so he's got hippos and rhinos that are in that kingdom that are already designed as well.
Okay, awesome. No, Chewing had a few questions, and I do want to go to our next segment and kind of call it wraps. because Jason, you've been so great.
Yeah, cool.
Like we wanted to keep asking you questions, but I know it's getting late.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right,
No worries.
2 questions. My only thing I I always look at and fawn over is translucent figures. Any potential future translucent monkey or elephant or some sort of chimera coming?
Yeah, I was very much considering doing in the original version of the comic book. Pale's got a what did I call him? Oh, a spectral form. So I was actually thinking about doing that as like a traveling convention exclusive, where we have the spectral Pale that I try to always think of stuff like as a collector, where yes, it's an exclusive, but like if I can't make it out to PowerCon or I can't make it out to like San Diego Comic Con, it's nice to offer it like online while I'm at the convention. So we'll probably do something like that where it's like, yeah, we have them at the convention, but we're also going to offer like maybe 30 or 40 of them on the website while we're actually out at the location. So yes, I plan on doing a clear version of that guy.
Oh my god,
awesome! That makes me happy. And these two are making fun of me. Like, why would we ever have a clear monkey? You idiot! You have a
no. Hold on. Jason worked it into the mythos as a spectral form. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was one. But
figures.
But it's just Jason.
I don't want to spoil stuff, but there's lots of technology and mysticism in the comic books. So, one of the things that I've joked about publicly is, I can remember as a kid having like my favorite Batman was like the bronze Batman, but like I also had like I remember there was like this sherbet orange Batman for some reason, and he was like night Batman, night sneaking Batman, and he's like ultraviolet orange. But so the reason I mentioned that is like any of our variants, they have a specific reason why they are a variant. Like so I mentioned Gladiator Pale and Gladiator Atreyu. They are very much gladiators in the end of issue 2 and going into issue 3. So there's like a very legitimate reason for having that variant, and I want to kind of, as much as I can, keep to that type of game plan where like, yes, we have variants, but it's because, oh hey, they had this version or this armor in this story arc or this particular issue.
Well, speaking of variants, since you're saying variants, like, is there a potential, maybe I was mentioning to the fellas that, again, I like Primal Raids. Is there a potential, maybe like a green and red chaos looking monkey or a blizzard type looking monkey? I don't know, with the paint. Maybe we get something like maybe like a what did you call it? A tribute, maybe.
Right, like an homage. Like anytime we do that type of thing, it won't be a mass release thing. It'll be something where it's an exclusive. Like it'll be a convention exclusive or a traveling exclusive. And what was it? I lost my train of thought. But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So one of the things that I noticed as far as like a trend as far as like exclusive goes is like I found that a lot of times they've been able to walk that balance of being very desirable to a certain demographic that like is really into exclusives, but it's not so desirable that like it's off-putting to all the collectors that can't get access to it. Like I remember when Playmates did this special Jean-Luc Picard in the 90s, and they only did 1,000 versions of it, and it like just drove the fan base up the wall. So I don't ever want to offer something that's an exclusive that's a must-have for like the entire fan base. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I want to try to find like that happy medium where it's like, oh man, that's a cool figure, and I'm going to be at the convention, so I'm definitely getting it to where, or someone that's like, I can't make it, but I'm not in love with that particular thing,
So any other questions, guys? Other than I know right now I'm like looking at my cart. Any other questions for Jason?
I think I want to say that I think I appreciate the fact that you are actually taking the time to not only make sure that these figures are right and their articulation is right, that they look good, but they're they're going to be shipped at a timely manner to people. But also, like you just mentioned, the exclusives, you don't want it to be something where like, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that you're thinking about that, because sometimes, as a collector, sometimes we feel, and this is speaking for me, sometimes I feel like those things are not, like, I mean, they're heard, but they're not actually, nobody's really listening sometimes. I mean, remember when the NECA Turtles first dropped, the 7-inch, the movie Turtles first dropped, how hard it was to get those. You couldn't get them anywhere.
Right.
And now, I guess eventually, they started just, paying attention, and now they were able to, you were able to find them. But I love the passion that you have for like what you're doing, and like you said, you're a collector before you're anything. So I appreciate that.
I mean, I just feel super lucky at the end of the day. I'm an action figure enthusiast. I can remember like for 2 years in high school being like, I got to be cool and not collect toys. And then I was like, whatever, I don't care. I'm a freaking nerd. I don't care. And so I just feel lucky to be able to, be an action figure collector and enthusiast, and also kind of bring something to the table and hopefully give everyone something new and exciting to collect. And I am a little bit biased, but I feel like I am heading in the right direction.
I think you're right. I mean, I think what we see is we've interviewed a few Kickstarters, a few people that have started it, and pretty much all of them have been successful. And what we've seen is this commonality in terms of just passion, drive, and hard work. And that's all you have. And what I think the one thing that I actually see in you is the aspirations and the goals, setting that high standard. And you can see it with your figure. The figure itself, my goodness, they look amazing. The sculpts look amazing. The articulations look amazing. So what we see is just the thoughtfulness put into it, and I really appreciate that. And I think that's why we're on our phones, like pre-ordering all of them now, because we want in early on this, right?
Which is my second question.
Go ahead.
But to even summarize, yeah, absolutely. The thing that it took me a long time in my adult life to really realize, especially in my professional career, is that you should always gravitate toward people that care. And after speaking with you on the stream, you certainly care quite a bit about this, about these characters, this brand being built up, the figures, but particularly the fans of these toys that it is really amazing to see. But so that second question, for those people that are just like getting familiar with Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and looking at the 30 different items on the site right now, what would be the perfect 3-figure $100 bundle? Get started, get in on it. Which would be the 3 figures you would recommend?
So Pale is my hands down favorite figure, but I am biased, so I would say that Kali is a must-have. It's a figure that I think just will look gorgeous in anyone's collection. And then if you're not familiar with the line, the second one that I would recommend after that would probably be Lexion. Again, I think he would look really cool in your Masters of the Universe or your Thundercats collection, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection. He's actually got a ton of deco. Like, he's got a great pattern that's actually hidden underneath his armor, but when you remove that, you'll discover it. And then last but definitely not least is I feel our standout figure, which is Thane. He's such a big figure. He's got such a great presence that if you only got one figure, I feel like if you got that and you put it in your collection, it's an absolute conversation starter. They're all 6-inch scale, but it's just such a big, beefy figure. And seeing people's reaction to him in person is like, I never get over it. It's like I get giddy, like seeing people get super excited about that figure. So Kali, Lexion, and Thane are my recommendations.
Question. I think I ordered 2 Vera Atlases by mistake. Do I just email you to fix that? Or
that's a great question. So I don't know what it was about the summertime, but like like at least 2 or 3 people a week would say, "Hey, I don't remember what I ordered," or "Can I add something on or swap something out?" And so I feel like I got like really good at just like swapping and mixing and matching stuff. And if for some reason I don't answer back, or what the hell? Like I feel like my electronics are revolting. If for some reason I don't answer, you'll get a backer kit customer, and this is not just for you, this is for everyone. You'll get a backer kit person that'll reply and say, "Hey, it is 3 a.m. I'll convey the message, and I'll usually get it taken care of within a day or two." So
All right, I'll just email you.
yeah,
We'll
so
talk.
don't
Maybe,
stress that
maybe
type of thing.
yeah, I'll swap in because I forgot that I got the Atlas in my backing, and I think I
Yeah.
just ordered another one. So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll talk.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's easy to swap that stuff out. Don't even sweat it.
So one thing that we like to do with all of our guests, and again, like thank you so much for joining us, and we just like to have fun. We like to talk toys. Toys are what brings us together, and that's why we started the show, Toy Talk. Really, just thinking about what are the positive things of the community, and making sure why does toys just bring us together. And I think you've showed us that we all have deep imagination. Some of us have more than others, but we are influenced by many of the cartoons in our youth that lead us down to this future. And this future for you is Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And it's amazing that you're going to be bringing this to life. And I see so many influences and so many things that you thought through as this character line. And it's so great to see. One of the things we like to do is kind of a rapid fire section in terms of we ask you a question, you have 10 seconds to answer, and these questions are totally random. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Favorite toy line?
G.I. Joe Classified.
Favorite toy?
Thundercat Sly from Super 7.
Saltwater or freshwater?
Obviously freshwater.
Obviously. Superpower.
I love catfish. Sorry. Go ahead. What was it? I'm sorry.
Superpower.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. All right.
Because then I can fly and levitate. You're basically a Jedi Knight without the lightsaber, if you think about it.
Oh. You thought of this.
True.
What makes you feel old?
I don't feel old. I'm 30. No. Wow. I'm 43, and I just don't feel like I'm old. I exercise every day, and I play with toys every day, so I really don't have anything that makes me feel old.
Well, what makes you feel young?
Getting to create action figures and painting them and kind of hanging out in my little art studio and dreaming up creations.
Touche. Damn. Last question. If you had to give someone who does not collect toys a gift, what toy would you give them?
Rubik's Cube.
No, the right answer is Atreyu or
Thane. Thane
or
is the
Thane.
one. Your answers. You get one great monkey ape creature.
No, that's it for rapid fire. Jason, again, you've been awesome. Not only have you been awesome, but I have to say this chat has been awesome today.
Mhm.
I'm sorry I didn't get to every single comment, but thank you so much for just being active in the chat. That's all we ask for. And if you have been watching, please click subscribe, click like, go check out Jason's Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. The link is in the description, but also go to his webpage and Instagram page at Spero Toys. Check them out. Check them out. Buy them tonight. I don't know. I don't know why. If you haven't bought them, you should be buying them.
Buy two of the same one,
I
right?
have to agree.
To buy two of the same one. Ask Jason
Two
to swap it
atlases are
out.
better than one. Clearly, that's the.
Ask Jason to swap it out for you.
There you go.
Yeah, let me know if that does happen. It's not a big deal.
I can guarantee you that it did happen. So yes, I will. But again, thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. Really appreciate it. And Am I forgetting anything? Jason, what do you want to plug other than, Animal Wars of the Kingdom? Anything else?
I want to say thank y'all so much for having me. You know, we're trying to boost our Instagram followers organically as opposed to like paying for followers and stuff. And I feel like we're at a nice, respectable 7,000. I'd love to get at. I feel like that 10,000 kind of like will really help us kind of work our way into the algorithm. If you haven't checked out Andor, I highly recommend it. It's a slow burn. It's a little bit slower paced. That kind of 70s era. So if you're not used to that, you might want to check out something like Wednesday, which I think is a fantastic show. The Pressure. Watch the Bob's Burgers movie. It's very good. And
Love Bob's Burgers.
and if I will say one thing, like my mission is for you guys to come home after a tough day or a tough week, and even if it's just for 15 minutes, to pick up my figures and forget about your troubles for just 15 minutes, I feel like I'll have achieved my goal.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I think all of us had a tough work day today, and we had almost 2 hours with you, and it was fantastic 2 hours. So thank you. Thank you for that gift.
Pleasure. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to come back on when you guys have your own AWOC figures in hand, and you can be like, look what I did with this,
Yes,
or
please.
I switched out this and that. So,
Hey, you said it. We're going to invite you back on, and we're going to be opening all of the 10 figures that each of us have gotten. So that'd be great.
sounds great.
Everyone,
you
thank you so much. Next week we have Lone Wolf Labs on next week. He's giving away a dio. We're going to be giving away a dio. We're going to be talking that up next week. Your choice of 3. You could choose 1 dio from the 3 that he'll have here, and the other 2 will go on sale here. It's going to be really exciting. Again, you have a chance to win a free dio from Lone Wolf. If you haven't checked out Lone Wolf, he's incredible. I have 4 dios from him, something like that. None of them are
at least have
duplicates.
3.
So they're fantastic. So check us out next week. Lone Wolf will talk about his process and talk about what he loves doing about dio making. And all of you in the chat, thank you so much. And we really appreciate all of you. No Chewing, Toy Addict. We'll see you next week. Everyone, we'll see you next week for another episode of Toy Talk.